Hey, what's up guys? Back again with another video. This time I'm going to teach you about the language TI Basic, and then in the next episodes we're gonna be learning how to use the language and code in it, and learn as much as we can about it so we can code on our calculators and do fun stuff. So what is TI Basic? Well, TI Basic is the programming language that is used on all of the Texas Instruments calculators, like the TI-83, TI-84, TI-84 Plus. Those are the common ones that I know of, I guess. So I'll be using the TI-84 Plus CE. So yeah, that's I think a really good one. That's what I have to use for school at least, and yeah, it's a graphing calculator. So the way this works is really cool because you can program all kinds of things onto your calculator pretty easily, like games and stuff. So once you get a hang of the language, you can make maybe like games, all kinds of cool stuff that you can maybe make in a different programming language. It's not that powerful, but the language is pretty cool. You can do lots of things that you might not have known you could do on the freaking calculator. So it's really cool. So there are multiple ways to program on the calculator, but the easiest way to do it is actually on the computer rather than the calculator itself, which you actually can do. You can code on the calculator, but having access to the calculator itself to code on directly is very important because it allows you to code on the go rather than plug into a computer every time you want to code, you know. So yeah. So what you would do, is plug in your USB to your computer and plug the other end into your calculator, and that's how we code from the computer. And then we can send over programs that we code onto the computer and load it onto the calculator with the USB connection, of course. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So anyway, throughout this tutorial series, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to be showing you how to do it both ways on the computer and on the calculator because on the calculator there's a little bit of a difference, but not much of a difference. But it's still important to show you how to do it on the calculator, so um, you know how to do it. So I actually can't record the screen of my calculator itself. So what I'll be doing is using a piece of software from Texas Instruments called SmartView. So what that does is once you install and pull it up, you can run an emulator of the calculator on your computer. So what that means by emulator is just you're basically simulating the calculator, like it's on your screen, like it's yeah, so you're simulating the calculator on your computer. So you can do anything that you would do on your calculator on your computer. So it's really for testing purposes, like maybe testing your program on the calculator. So yeah. So yeah, it's just a virtual representation of the calculator, and you can do anything you want to do that you would do on the calculator itself, of course. So what I would recommend you do is instead of using SmartView like I am, just use your calculator because that's the point of this whole thing. The only reason I'm using SmartView again is because I can't record the screen of my calculator. So anything that I do on my SmartView emulator, you should be doing on your calculator, okay? So yeah, if you want to use SmartView for any reason, just for testing, or you don't actually have the calculator with you or have it at all, you can download it here. I'll put the link in the description. So yeah, you can check it out and download it. And it actually costs money, but if you do a 90-day free trial, no credit card required, to start the trial. You just download it and it asks you for a 90-day free trial, and you can just go ahead and do that. So for 90 days, you got it, and it's all yours. So anyway, so if you want to do that, go ahead. So anyway, so once we do all that, if you want to do that, we can install another piece of software called TI Connect, which allows us to link our calculators to our PC, which is very important. So it's a really cool piece of software because it can do many features. It comes with a built-in program editor so that we can code in, and then it lets you send that program that you code up to your calculator for you to test. So with the USB connection, of course. So it also lets you just take screenshots of your calculator screen, which is kind of cool. So you can save them on your computer for some reason, anything like that, little pictures. So there's a bunch of cool features I likely won't mention. So make sure you play around with it to, familiarize yourself with it. So I'll put the link in the description for this software here too. So download it. I already have it, of course. So yeah, that's how you do that. So I'm going to open up SmartView here first so I can show you what it looks like. So let's search here, SmartView. There we go. Enter. Okay, it's going to load up. And then you click no, start with your free trial. I have 88 days left, so yep. So I click next, and then it starts out pretty cool. So yeah, it shows all the screens, all the different screens and stuff. So here's the main screen of the calculator, of course. So you can do, here's the calculator right here, so you can do whatever you want. So enter, so quit, and now we're on the main screen, so we can clear the screen if you want to, of course. And it shows our tables, our whatever that's called, table, I guess. And we have a list here, list table, whatever you call it. And then you have our actual graph here. So yeah, these are for equations. I forgot, it says right there. Yeah, so that's for equation. But anyway, so we have key press history if you want to look at that. All kinds of stuff. So anyway, that's what I'll be using, and yeah. So now let's pull up the TI Connect software. And so now that we're in here, we can actually start coding. So what we're going to do first is get the charger that you charge your calculator with, or whatever, and then plug it into our calculator, and then plug in the other part, the USB part, into your computer. So go ahead and plug it in, and then I'll be right back. I'll do it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my calculator's plugged in, all good. So it's on my computer now, the drivers are updated or whatever it does. And so you click, if you go to Calculator Explorer, that tab right here, it shows all the connected calculators. So you can have more than one if you want to. So you can send your program to all your calculators if you want to at the same time. It's really cool. So anyway, here's our calculator. I'm running the operating system 5.3. I was actually running 5 before, but this software let me update it to 5.3, so that's really cool. So anyway, so we can capture the screen if we want to. So let's do this. Boom. It's going to capture the screen. It's going to take a screenshot, and there we go. So it just happens to be empty, so that's why it looks like that. So if we want to, we could save these screenshots to our computer. Anywhere you want to save it. If you have a calculator porn folder, you can save it to there. So anyway, if we go to our program tab here, we have a lot of stuff. So how do we start coding? Click New Program here, or you can open up a program. Let's say you download one off the internet or just whatever. You can open it up, But we're going to make a new one here, so click plus, and then now it's going to create a new program. So this is actually going to be closed, so there we go. You should be looking at the same thing I'm looking at right now. So, okay, so this should probably say 1 for you, but anyway, with this, what goes here is your calculator program name, okay? So it can basically be any key on your keyboard except for like the punctuation, I believe, and stuff like that, so yeah. The ones you can't press actually won't go in there. So anyway, it's just mainly letters and numbers you can use for your name. So I recommend it's capital because I think that's what it's supposed to be. So use capital, I would recommend. So it doesn't go beyond, let's see, like 8 letters, I believe, if I'm counting correctly. Yeah, that's 8 letters, 8 characters. So it can only be 8 characters long. So give it a name. I'm gonna call it Hello World. I spelled hello like that because there's not a lot of character space. So Hello World. So this will be your first program, okay? So now we can code in it, right? And so let's make a program here. So you have all this stuff here, okay? And these are basically all the things that your calculator can do, all the functions, yeah, just all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to be exploring this a lot in the future. So if we want to look up the stuff that we use to program, we open this tab here, and we have all this cool stuff here. So we have these 4 main sections here. So control, which is for like controlling your program, maybe like looping and if statements and all kinds of crazy stuff. Then we have input, which is outputting stuff, input and output. So we can output like messages to the screen, clear the screen, all kinds of stuff, okay? So don't worry about that too much yet. So we're going to make our first program. Hope you're excited. So let's say you want to use this command. These are all commands, okay? So let's say you want to use this one, okay? You can either type it, type it yourself, or you can double click maybe, or you can drag and drop, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so probably once you get the hang of it, you're going to be typing it, just so it's faster. So you can do clear home. And what does clear home do? That will actually just clear the home screen. So let's go ahead and see what that means. So if we take another screenshot here, this is your home screen, okay? So this won't actually be there, I don't think, whenever you run the program. So when you run your program, it's going to have some maybe stuff on the screen or something like that. Maybe if you have something else that's on the screen, like here, I'm going to put some stuff on the screen. Quit. Okay, so I'm going to take another screenshot and we'll see. Okay, so all that crap is on the screen, right? So if I use clear home, it'll just get rid of that, make it all blank. Pretty simple, right? It's a simple command. It's just going to clear your screen, make it completely blank, okay? So the next command that we'll put in there is display, so DISP. So display, it's just gonna display a message to your screen, okay? So you can go down here and it tells you actually how to use the command. So it's really cool. So this is a basic usage. Let's say you want to display nothing for some reason. You could just do that. Or if you click here, it says 1 out of 2, so there's going to be more ways to use it. So if we click this here, it shows us the other ways to use it. And this looks pretty confusing, right? But don't worry. It's just a bunch of parameters. If you take in another programming language tutorial maybe, these are parameters, right? So you'd actually only need one, okay? So let's say you output a message here, okay? So that would be a string. So when strings are enclosed within double quotes, so that's a double quote. So inside here, you would put the message. So disp, and what message we want to put out, we'll do hello world, okay? That's all you got to do. You don't have to put like that at the end. That's for Java. You know, other languages use that too. So that's all you got to do. That's literally all you have to do. So this is going to output a string of hello world, okay? So why is there multiple stuff here? Well, that is in case you want to use, maybe you can actually output more than one string, okay? And we're not going to do that, but that's what that's for, okay? And let's say you in the future don't want to output a string, you can actually output like variables which will hold numbers and stuff. You can do that by putting the variable name, like let's say we use x, so we can use x, and it's a variable, not a string, so we wouldn't surround it in quotes. So don't forget in the future when you use variables, don't surround it in quotes. It's not a string. A string is simply letters, okay? It's just a message, okay? So hopefully that's not too complicated. It's really simple. It's a really simple command. And don't worry, we'll be going over display later on and stuff like that, okay? So don't worry, don't worry. So hello world is going to be outputted to the screen, and then another command we're going to add is going to be in the control area. We scroll down, we find, oh, right here, pause, okay? So pause, make sure the space is on the end. For some reason it doesn't work without the space, so make sure you have a space after pause. This will just keep the program from stopping after this runs. Because if you don't have this here, the program is going to be like, oh, okay, you ran everything, so it's just going to stop the program. That's what it does at the end, usually when a program runs. So make sure you have the space, and yeah, it's just going to pause the program. And then if you want to stop it after you read the message, you're like, okay, that's it. You can just click enter, I think, or second mode, just whatever. We'll see in a second. So anyway, okay, so we finished our program, right? How do we send it to our calculator? Well, we could do it with this button here. This will send it to our calculator. Okay, so it's going to open up a thingy. It's going to ask you a bunch of stuff. You can customize a bunch of stuff, and you can select the calculator. Or you can do, if you have multiple calculators, you can send it to all of them at once. So what this will do here, that's all good, right? So what this will do here is basically, if you already have a calculator program with this same name, hello world, spelled like that, it's going to override it. Okay, so it's going to override the code basically. So it's like saving a file to a computer that already exists, you know? So it's just overriding. So anyway, I actually do have this file I think already. So we're just going to send it. Okay. So it's going to send it to your calculator. Make sure your calculator is on. Okay. Don't forget that. Make sure it's on. And then it should be sent. There's no error messages, so it's probably sent. Okay. So at this point, I can't show the screen of my computer or calculator, of course. So what I'm going to do is open up SmartView. And once I open up SmartView, I'm just going to load the program on here by doing File, Load File. Actually, no, I need to go back to TI and save the file. This is how you save a file, by the way. Just click Save here. And I'm going to save it to, let's see, development. I'll save it to development right here. I'll give it a name of hello world. Just whatever you want to give it. You shouldn't be doing this step unless you want to, because I'm just doing this step because I want to show you how to do it on your calculator, of course. So anyway, so I'm going to save it now, and it's already saved, so we can now load it onto here. So pretend this is your calculator, by the way. You shouldn't be on SmartView unless you just want to. So load file, and we're going to find where I put this crap. This PC. Oh man, I have so many drives. Cringe. Okay. Development. And right there it is. So I'm going to load this, open it. It's going to send the thing. Yeah, I'm going to override it. Good. So awesome. You didn't have to do that step, of course. So this is your calculator, right? We have it on your calculator. So what you want to do now is click program. This will open up all of the programs on your calculator, okay? And unless you've done this before, loaded calculator programs onto your calculator, this should just have hello world, the program that you just made, or whatever you named it, okay? And so there we go. So let's look at the menu first. So execute here. This will just allow you to start programs pressing enter. It's currently selected to this one, of course, so we can press enter and it'll run this program. Or we can go to edit and we can actually view the code. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's click edit, so enter, and now we can view the code. See, look, that's all of the code that we just did. That's pretty cool, right? So yeah, that's how that works. So if you want to get out of this, do second mode. Okay, so we'll go back to program, and then let's execute our program. Okay, let's actually run it. Okay, you ready? Click enter, and then this is the command that runs the program. So we're gonna click enter again, and there we go. Now our program has run. So it does exactly what we told it to do. It says hello world, and it didn't shut down, so it's paused, right? So like we set it to. So anyway, hopefully that wasn't too confusing. You're just making a program, right? So yeah, that's how you do that. So now what we're gonna do, now that we know how to make programs on our computer and send it to our calculator, we're now gonna make this program on our calculator in case you wanted to do it on your calculator. So I'll show you how. Okay. So let's go to program. Sometimes it's slow for me on this emulator. And now we're gonna make a new program, like I said. So go to new, and then we can click enter to create a new program, and it's going to ask you for a program name. Okay, so we're going to type in a name for it. Use the same way you did on the computer. You just use the same letters and stuff like that. You can use letters, numbers. Yeah. So okay, so if you look at your calculator, we see that we have a letter to each number and each key actually. So whatever key that you hit, it'll do that letter. So let's say we want to call this hello 2 for some reason, or just hello, I guess. We could find the H here. We'll find the H. Oh, here's the H, okay. And then we'll find the E right there, and then L, and then the O. Where's the O? Boom. So we got hello now. So that's the program name, and then we'll click enter to verify that. And now we can start coding. So each line, it actually starts with a dot dot, a colon, okay? And so we can start coding. So let's say we want to do the thing where we clear the screen again. So how do we open up those commands? We click program right here, so program, and now we have access to the 4 tabs that we saw on our TI Connect software. So that's really cool. So it's that simple. So we can go to input output, and we're going to scroll down to number 8. So that's clear home. That'll clear the screen, of course. Oh man, it's so laggy. Oh no. Okay. Boom, boom. Okay, click enter to verify the command, and there we go. So if you want to go to a new line, just do enter again, and then we can add another command. So we'll do the display command. So IO and then disp for display, enter. Okay. So how do we put the quotes in? We can't actually just hit the key that we want to use the letter or whatever for. We actually have to do it with the alpha. So delete that. So if you want to get the quote here, we do alpha and then hit that. So as you can see, the yellow or whatever color it is matches with the other thing right there, you see? So we have the quote here, so that's the first quote. And now we want to spell hello world, okay? So that's going to be a lot of stuff, but anyway. So we'll do alpha H, alpha E, alpha L, L. Oh, we can't do L, we got to do alpha L. Alpha L, alpha O, and then we need a comma, so let's find the comma. Where's the comma? Do we have access to a comma? Ah, yeah, commas are here. It's actually a button. Cool. And then we can do a space. Space is this little sideways bracket, I guess you could call it. So that's a space. Okay. And we'll find a W. W stores the bottom because alphabet. World. Boom. 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 WRD. Where's the D? Boop, there's D, okay? And then we want to add the code again, so I'll just go ahead and do that again. And so there we go, there's our display command. So we'll do enter to go to a new line. And then we want the pause command, so we'll go to control here, so we're already here. So we'll just find the pause command, so it's number 8. So we don't actually have to go down and use the arrows, we can actually hit 8 and then it'll add it for us. Pretty cool, right? And it has the space here, we need the space I guess on here too. And so okay, so we're done with that, right? So how do we get out of this editor thingy? Don't click anything, just do second mode, okay? There we go. So now we're out of it. So it just saved it, don't worry. So we could do program now to go back to our programs. And now we have 2 programs, right? We have our original one from our computer, and now we have hello, okay? So we can see it, of course. We can edit hello and see it now. And there it is. So we'll do second mode to get out of that again. And then we'll go back to program, and then we can run it, okay? So let's enter again, and boom, it ran our thingy. Oh, I forgot the exclamation point. Pretty derp. So anyway, that's how you code on your calculator. So now we know how to code on our computer and our calculator. So hopefully I taught you a lot, and I hope you're satisfied. So if you like this video, leave a like. If you have any questions, just leave a comment in the comment section and ask a question, or you just give me support, whatever you want to do, or hate the video if you want to. So we also have a Discord that's in the description if you check it out. If you want to check it out, go ahead and do that. I would love for you to join, hang out with us, play Fortnite if you want to, ask coding questions, talk about coding, anything you want to do. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more, and peace.